Yeah, and I want to acknowledge that we're on stolen Gadigal land that, like the rest of this continent, should be given back. The world is burning and we know who caused the fire. This climate crisis is class war and this climate crisis is race war. The climate crisis is overwhelmingly something the rich and the white have done and are doing to the poor and the brown. Because the same governments that are refusing to cut emissions are building walls to keep out the people fleeing climate chaos. And while the global south faces floods, fires, droughts and famines, wealthy nations like Australia keep colonizing the atmosphere, taking more than our share, hoarding resources, pretending innovation will save us. This crisis isn't accidental, it's been engineered and it's maintained every single day by the 1%. The villains are not abstract. They have logos and offices, CEOs and profit margins. They have names and addresses. They're building their empires on extraction, exploitation and lies while the working class pays with their lives. COP will not save us. It's a global talk fest completely infested with dirty lobbyists whose sole goal is to keep the planet on track for profit-fueled extinction. While people drown, burn, starve, and flee, these executives sip cocktails in air-conditioned conference halls and congratulate each other.
We need democratic workers' control over industry. We need to expropriate the billionaire property and place it under democratic workers' control. We need to plan the economy in harmony with the people and the planet, and that's the only way forward. A system built on profit, a system built on infinite expansion is absolutely, it's just not compatible with the planet. And we need to get organised and overthrow this decrepit system. So if that sounds good to you, join the Revolutionary Communist International. Come see me if you'd like a copy of our tabloid. Thank you.
It's the top 30 protest. So I've just got here a bit late. I kind of came past, there was no one here, and I'll come back again and there's a few people here, but it's reasonably small. The Jesus sign doesn't belong to them, it belongs to this guy. They've kind of taken his spot.
The next speaker.
Oh, here we go, another speaker.
The next.
Not sure who the first one was. It was a lady, but I'm not sure who.
And we've got someone here from the Pacific. Angie. Okay. So, help me out here. Who's next? My phone can help me, but also people can help me. Hannah. Oh, goody! It's Hannah. It's Hannah. Hannah, tell us about yourself.
This is
Hi, I'm
Hannah Thomas.
I was the Greens candidate for Belém in the last election. Yeah, and I want to acknowledge that we're on stolen Gadigal land that, like the rest of this continent, should be given back. The world is burning and we know who caused the fire. This climate crisis is class war and this climate crisis is race war. The climate crisis is overwhelmingly something the rich and the white have done and are doing to the poor and the brown. All the talk of emissions and offsets, targets and technologies, opportunities and transitions mask the fact that this climate crisis is a crime, a global crime, one that is being committed in front of our eyes with zero accountability. The culprits and the accomplices are many. It's the fossil fuel giants, Woodside, Santos, Chevron, BHP, who know exactly what they're doing as they torch this planet for record profits. It's the military, the world's biggest, dirtiest, and most protected polluter. The same military machine that enables Israel to commit genocide in Gaza pumps out more pollution than entire nations. It's the big banks, ANZ, CBA, NAB, Westpac, that keep shoveling billions into coal and gas while pretending they're net zero in glossy ads. It's the insurance companies that underwrite climate destruction and then abandon frontline communities as they sink and burn. It's the media, especially News Corp, running cover for the whole operation, denying, delaying, distracting while the whole world perishes. It's the politicians and regulators, it's Labour and Liberals taking donations from polluters and handing them the keys to the country. It's the consultants and lobbyists writing policy in backrooms for the very industries that are destroying our future. And it's the universities letting fossil fuel companies greenwash their reputations with research partnerships. It's the border industrial complex, the detention centres, the private prison companies, the arms manufacturers, gearing up to profit from the displacement they help cause. Because the same governments that are refusing to cut emissions are building walls to keep out the people fleeing climate chaos. And while the global south faces floods, fires, droughts and famines, wealthy nations like Australia keep colonising the atmosphere, taking more than our share, hoarding resources, pretending innovation will save us. This crisis isn't accidental, it's been engineered and it's maintained every single day by the 1%. The villains are not abstract. They have logos and offices, CEOs and profit margins. They have names and addresses. They're building their empires on extraction, exploitation and lies while the working class pays with their lives. COP will not save us. It's a global talk fest completely infested with dirty lobbyists whose sole goal is to keep the planet on track for profit-fueled extinction. While people drown, burn, starve, and flee, these executives sip cocktails in air-conditioned conference halls and congratulate each other. Indigenous communities stormed COP last week because they know the truth. Power is never given back, it's wrestled back. And it's well past time to wrestle the power back from the billionaires and corporations who have pillaged the land and taken so many lives. Because either capitalism goes or the world does. Life cannot survive this sick, cancerous ideology that worships profit and growth. It will burn every forest, poison every river, sacrifice every child's future just to squeeze one more dollar out of this dying system. We need to make polluters pay. We need to make profiteers pay. We need to make billionaires pay. And let's drop the polite illusions. Recycling will not save us. Turning off your lights will not save us. Individual guilt will not save us, and neither will individual action. History does not move on its own. Only people coming together will move it. Movements move it. Direct action moves it. Like Palestine Action in the UK, who shut down Elbit. Not through polite petitions, but through sustained, brave, unapologetic disruption. That is where power lies. It's in the streets, it's in our bodies, it's in our refusal to allow this system to keep killing us quietly. And that's why I'm calling on every single person here to get involved. Next week, there's the largest climate civil disobedience action happening in this country, Rising Tide. And you should all come along, because we've tried letters, negotiations, reports, petitions, pleas. None of them work. We need to storm the places of power and take it back. We need to bring our bodies to the ports, to the banks, to the weapons factories, and make it impossible for the system to function. Everything is at stake. The planet is burning and the people in charge are still counting their profits. The climate crisis is a class war and it's a race war, and the only way we win is by taking on the 1% who are waging it. We outnumber the 1% 1,000 to 1, and when we fight, we win. So let's fight, let's rise. Let's take our planet back from the billionaires, from the polluters, and from every parasite that is putting profit over life.
Rousing. I have another chant for us all. It's a really cool one. Okay. Power to the people. Power to the people. People got the power. People got the power. Tell me, can you hear us? Tell me, can you hear us? Getting stronger by the hour. Getting stronger by the hour. Power. Power. People. 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 Power. Power. Power to the people. Power to the people. People got the power.
People got the power.
Tell me, can you hear us?
Tell me, can you hear us?
Getting stronger by the hour.
Get stronger by the hour.
Power.
Power.
People.
People.
Power.
Power.
People.
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 Power.
Power.
Power. Power. Power. Power. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
People got the power.
People got the power.
Tell me, can you hear us?
Tell me, can you hear us?
Getting stronger by the hour.
Get stronger by the hour.
Power.
Power.
People.
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 Power.
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 People.
People.
People. Now people gonna rise like the water. Gonna face this crisis now. Not a voice of my great granddaughter saying keep going the ground. Everybody now, people gonna rise like the water. Gonna face this crisis now. The voice of my great granddaughter saying keep going down. Everybody, people gonna rise like the water. Gonna face this crisis now. The voice of my great granddaughter saying keep going down. One more time, people gonna rise like the water. Gonna face this crisis now. Gonna voice of my great granddaughter saying keep going good.
They tried to take his Jesus sign down. Now they just want to block it.
Welcome. Tax the rich. Tax the rich.
The hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets.
Is there a police liaison?
Everyone that is in is stretched out still. And he will lift up an ensign with a
Yay!
voice from far,
Yay!
and will
Yay!
push unto them from
Yay!
the end of the earth.
Rising tide.
And behold,
Here's another one. Stop the coal. Stop the ships. We say no apocalypse. Stop the coal. Stop the ships. We say no apocalypse. Stop the coal. Stop the ships. We say no apocalypse. Stop the coal. Stop the ships.
The Jesus guy now, he's got his recording on.
The tide is rising.
horses,
No more compromising. The
do that.
tide is rising.
They're going to cover his sign, and it's a bit of a stand-up, I think.
The tide is rising. No more compromising. The tide is rising.
Emily from Rising Tide. My comrade Neelish was meant to speak today, but he's not here. So I haven't prepared anything. But basically my story is that I'm a mum. I've got 2 boys, and I've spent most of my life, up until I was 35, being scared and hiding from the world. Even though I cared deeply about things, I would be overcome by panic, and I found it almost impossible to interact with people. I had to work really hard on it, and the motivation for me was, of course, my children. When I see their future, it's not looking great, you know. Like I see fires and famine, floods, and I was overcome by this overwhelming dread until I took action and got involved with wildlife rescue and with Rising Tide. I'm determined to be able to look my boys in the eye and for them to know that I went all in for their future. And that, as Hannah and Juliet have mentioned, is about putting ourselves on the line and putting ourselves in front of the problem, in between my children and that problem. For me, that means disrupting the coal port next week.
I've been there 2 years in a row now, and it's the most magnificent community. People really try to take you under their wing. It's great to see an alternative way that we can live together, relate to each other, different forms of governance. It's a really positive place to be, to see that this isn't all there is. Because sometimes that's how we feel, and that's how our politicians try to make us feel like there's no other option. They're doing the sensible, practical things, right? They're so sensible. They're so sensible, they're going to hurtle us into the abyss of climate breakdown, where billions of people are going to die because of extreme heat, extreme weather events, food and water scarcity, the extinction of species as well. So this is what we're looking at unless we all stand up together, because we do have power when we stand together in huge numbers. This is what we're needing. We're needing the political class and the business class, industry, to see that we wield this collective power and we withdraw our consent from these extractive, destructive systems. So I invite all of you to join us in Newcastle next week. The first year we had 3,000 people and 99 arrested. The second year there were 7,000 people and 170 something arrested. I was one of them. And it was the most empowering experience. So I really encourage everyone to come, even if you're scared. I will help you. And everyone who's there is only interested in your well-being and safety. So please do join us. The more of us that stand up and say no, the quicker we will get this, we will have action and we will stop this destructive industry in its tracks. Thank you very much.
Comrades, what a great event. My name's Rachel Evans. I stood against Clover Moore at the Sydney Council elections recently for Socialist Alliance. I'm also very involved in the City of Sydney for Palestine and the Gadigal resistance to genocide, both in Palestine and in this, against the genocide against First Nations peoples here. It is ongoing and continuing. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Well, we've heard a lot about how COP30 is a greenwashing sham. It is dominated by fossil fuel representatives, 1,600 of them, and for 30 years it has greenwashed the system that is hell-bent on making profits for corporations, for the billionaires. But we are resisting in a way that is unprecedented. Even the old comrades in the Vietnam War movement say that the Palestine movement has woken people up in a way that we have not seen in our lifetime, because the genocide has been sent to our phones, our individual phones all over the world, and it is relentless. And this ceasefire, this sham ceasefire, the US plan is not a plan for the self-determination and liberation of the Palestinian people. We've gone from 100 murders slaughtered every day to this so-called ceasefire, this slow genocide moment, where now 10 to 20 to 30 Palestinians are still being murdered. But martyrs never die. They remain in our hearts, they remain in our bloodstream, and they remain in our determination to resist and to win. Joining the movement for Palestine liberation and against ecocide is really critical. The fossil fuel industry and the military-industrial complex are working together. They're working together, unfortunately, which will mean the extinction of the planet if we don't win against them. It will mean the murders and the slaughters of many more innocent people, mostly in the global south. But we are rising. And it's so good to hear that the Italian dock workers are striking again. The third strike on November the 28th and the 29th of this year. And Greta Thunberg, who said, so well, she said, the system isn't broken, it is doing what it is designed to do. She will be there with Yanis Varoufakis, she'll be there with Chris Hedges, and she'll be there with Francesca Albanese, who is also finger-pointing the colonial settler, capitalist, bloodthirsty profiteering system. and we will join them in an international blockade of the Newcastle coal port in a paddle out for Palestine. On Saturday, November the 29th, we've been organising for 3 months. We have 46 organisations across Australia, but also in South Africa and the Netherlands, signing on to this paddle out for Palestine, because we want no more coal for Israel, we want no more fuel for the genocide, and Australia is fueling that genocide. So we're calling on everyone to come. We've got at least 100 Palestine flags. We want 200, 300 people on the water blocking coal to Israel. Coal is coming out of the Newcastle port to Israel from the Hunter Valley. We know this for sure. And Glencore, which is the largest coal company in the world and in Australia, is probably the one sending that coal to Israel. So we will resist. I'm calling on people to come around for a little bit of a photo shoot, and we're going to send a photo shoot to the people of Gaza. We're also going to send a photo shoot to South Africa Boycott, Divest and Sanctions campaign, who are fighting very hard to stop Glencore sending coal to Israel from South Africa. There has been a 46% increase in coal from South Africa in the last 6 months. So there are words which the governments like South Africa and Brazil are saying, yes, it's a genocide, but their actions are actually supporting the genocide as it stands. So all strength, all solidarity. Resistance is not ever futile. Resistance will win. Come on and do a photo shoot, fists in the air. Free, free Palestine, stop coal. Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
From Gadigal to Gaza. Long live the Intifada. From Gadigal to Gaza. Long live the Intifada. Okay, maybe we'll do over there. That's great. Then you don't have to move. Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Come on down and we'll take a photo. In our thousands, in our millions. We are all Palestinians. Emily. In our thousands, in our millions. Emily. We are all Palestinians. In our thousands, in our millions. We are all Palestinians. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Always was, always will be. Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Coal, don't dig it. Leave it in the ground, it's time to get with it. Coal, don't dig it.
Leave it in the ground, it's time to get with it.
Coal, don't dig it.
Leave it in the ground, it's time to get with it.
Coal, don't dig it.
Leave it in the ground, it's time to get with it.
We say justice, climate.
Justice. Justice.
I say climate. You say justice, climate.
Justice.
Climate.
Justice.
I say people. You say power. People.
Power.
People.
Power.
I say people. You say power. You say power.
Direct Action Group formed around addressing the Burrup Hub projects. Burrup Hub is a series of onshore and offshore Woodside gas projects off the north of WA. It's projected to emit more than 6 billion tonnes of CO2 by 2070, which, to put that in perspective, is 4 times more than the Adani coal mine. Yeah. So to be one of the biggest polluters in the world by itself, let alone on top of all the other fossil fuel projects that Australia is approving at the moment. Shame. Aside from the deeply extractive and polluting nature of the projects, the sites are located on Murujuga, a now UNESCO World Heritage listed location that contains over 1 million petroglyphs or rock art engravings, with these engravings being around 50,000 years old. So these sites are going to be absolutely degraded by these projects in a cultural sense. Scientifically and culturally, these projects are an absolute nightmare. And Disrupt Burrup Hub is working to build awareness on the truthfulness of that devastation. The Burrup Hub project is bad news. If you haven't heard it yet, I'd really recommend having a read, because Woodside is banking on the fact you don't know what it's doing. I'm 25 right now, and these projects are being approved through the pipeline for approval well into my 70s. This is not sustainable, I know you all know it. Australia needs to keep in line with its Paris Agreement targets, which is definitely involving not approving new petrochemical projects, especially ones as massive as Burrup Hub. I'm asking you to talk about it. Follow Disrupt Burrup Hub on Instagram, look them up online, the facts don't lie. Learn about it and let the truth of it make all that social license that Woodside is banking on fall apart.
That we don't want to have a transfer of technology from coal and a transfer of economy from a coal to militarism. What we got at the moment is the government giving about 50 billion a year to transfer from fossil fuel economy, well they're not really transferring too far from that, but a little bit from that over to the economy of the other economy of genocide, which is the economy of weapons. So about 50 billion a year they're putting in to blast up this weapons economy. Over 10 years, it's about 300 billion is what they put into it, just into the sort of the facilitation, the subsidising of new companies, subsidising of these sort of weaponry. So what we see is that we see the old military, the old industrial hubs being turned into military hubs. And of course Newcastle, the greatest coal port in the world, is one of those hubs where they are using the sort of the industrial sort of culture to move it into a military hub. So we've got a couple of actions just to tell that story, a few actions in the week after Rising Tide to tell that story. There's a number of open actions there and you can come and join. So we look at companies like this local Newcastle company that's diversifying, that's what they call it, diversifying into the weapons industry, directly into the weapons industry, killing people. It's a genocide economy, that's what Francesca Albanese has called it. We are in the genocide economy. They pretend it's about the ADF, they pretend it's about defence, but really the ADF is being used as a cover for the export industry, and the main game is the export industry, because that's the easiest way for these big companies, these private equity companies, is to get money direct from the government, is through weapons. So we would love you to join us. Come and talk to me if you want to look at a little program we have after Rising Tide to link earth care. We want earth care, not warfare. We don't want to shift from a coal economy to a weapons economy. And what is the point of that? We're just going to kill it. And anyway, what we know is that they use those weapons to maintain the fossil fuel industries across the world. If any Indigenous people stand up and say, no, you can't have our forests for your fossil fuels, no, you can't have them, you can't, what they do is they bring the military in. That's what these military, and this is what the weapons are used for, is to enforce, they militarily enforce the extraction of fossil fuel in those communities that haven't already been severely weakened by the imperial and colonising forces of the last 300 years. So we want you to join us. We need you to realise that these two movements, the Earth Care movement and the anti-warfare movement, these are intricably linked, right? They're not separate things. They will use those weapons on us as we stand up, and you know that. You know you've seen them do that across the world against climate activists, and then in the last couple of years against Palestine activists. So join us. Come and talk to us about that. And we got to remember earth care, not warfare. Take the money back from the billionaires. Earth care, not warfare. Take the money back from the billionaires. Earth care, not warfare. Take the money back from the billionaires. Earth care, not warfare. Take the money back from the billionaires. Earth care, earth care, earth care. Back from the billionaires. Earth care, not warfare. Take the money back from the billionaires. Take the money back. Take the money back. Take the money back from the millionaires.
About Climate Pop-Out, which is actually a 4-day event. This is just a brief moment. And so for the rest of today and throughout all tomorrow, we're going to be at Glebe Town Hall. There's a music night tonight if you want to come along, meet some people, have a dance. And there's workshops all throughout today. Tomorrow there's a panel seminar thing on at like 11:30. Check the website for the exactness of that information, which is trying to explore how direct action can build movements, how to get more of it happening. So there's still a bunch of great things on. Please come out to check it out. And it's a grassroots effort. It's trying to combine many different people, many different approaches. So if you have anything you want to contribute, that's what we're all about.
Maybe there won't be a march in the end, I don't know. Seem to be...
I don't have anything prepared, just thought I'd use the platform. Thanks Climate Pop for the platform. I just want to say there are facts that we need to come to terms with as workers. The capitalist system has and is increasingly incapable of promising a good future, a good, happy, healthy future for the coming generations of the world. It's a decrepit, crumbling, rotten system. It's founded on exploitation and oppression. It's killing the planet and it needs to be overthrown. We need democratic workers' control over industry. We need to expropriate the billionaire property and place it under democratic workers' control. We need to plan the economy in harmony with the people and the planet, and that's the only way forward. A system built on profit, a system built on infinite expansion is absolutely, it's just not compatible with the planet. And we need to get organised and overthrow this decrepit system. So if that sounds good to you, join the Revolutionary Communist International. Come see me if you'd like a copy of our tabloid. Thank you.
Yeah, hey there. I just wanted to talk a bit about COP, since we've been doing Conference of the Parties, which is meeting in Brazil, which is, we've been meeting here in Sydney for 3 years, resisting COP and talking about COP and, exploring what it is. And I feel like I've come to the realization that what COP, it's a lot of things, because it's a huge organization, and it happens every year, and there's many ways to understand it, but I feel like the primary way to understand it now is through the lens of elite capture. So what we have is all around the world we have environmental movements that are widely supported by the population. We have debates and arguments in the realm of politics, but the people are behind the idea that we are facing an existential crisis with climate, and people know that we need to do something about it, and people support the idea that we need to do something about it. And this comes out of decades of activism, climate activism, by a range of groups, mostly people on the front line of climate, by revolutionary socialists, by indigenous people, by a whole range of people. But what has happened, what happens with the process of elite capture, is vested interests appropriate that energy, appropriate that consensus that builds up in the community, and use it for their own purposes, use it to promote their own agenda, which is totally what COP does. COP is a trade fair for the global capitalist system. The fossil fuel countries promote fossil fuel. We've come up with the idea now of green capitalism, which is just another way to expand the current economic conditions and the current exploitation the extractivist system that's, you know, worldwide. But, you know, the roots, and the only way we're going to make change is through grassroots, organising. That's where we have the information, we have the knowledge, we have each other. This is what drives any change in the world. So this is us today, and yeah, we need to just keep doing this, keep showing up, keep disrupting, and we will win.
In terms of the climate crisis, it's really important that we think of people who are less privileged than us, because they'll suffer the most. So that's who we need to keep in mind.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody? This is an open mic. Yay!
Hello everyone, my name's Ceda. I've been working with Uncle Paul Towney up on Wiradjuri country trying to get some illegal land grants back for the Wiradjuri people. I believe that the colonization of this continent and the seizing ownership of these properties was illegally granted. I believe that First Nations people are kept in poverty, and that is a weapon of the state, and it is a weapon of the colonial body. I think first step has got to be recognition and land back for people. Next month we will be holding a series of events in Western New South Wales, and we'll be ending here on Gadigal Country in Parramatta. We will be at the old Government House on the 12th of December for a gathering of nations, you know, to celebrate unity and to highlight that we still live under the colony and First Nations oppression and genocide has never ended. Thank you.
Oh, it's great. We're all here today and we all want to disrupt and be political and take action and work together. And we all have to figure out how to do that together. And together we have power, and we can take space and call for climate action and disrupt the system. So I guess it's up to us to see what we want to do and how we want to end this. But maybe if everyone could get up and hold their things and just like jump around a bit and look around and see who they're with, and just feel themselves here together with everyone in this space. We could start there, and then we could see and look around us and decide what we want to do. We could leave, we could go for a walk, we could do some chants, we could try and walk to Hyde Park, which is a thing that we did last year as a group. We're going to have to assess obviously the police around, but yeah, we stick together to keep each other safe, and obviously we don't want to
The cops haven't come to attention yet, but
we have to look after each other. Perhaps we can do some chants.
this was last year when they did the, it was a little bit of there was no cops here last year, one guy trying to stop them all from memory. But I think it'll be a little more controlled this time, I'd say. Okay, so the cops are just standing around at the back. They don't, oh, they're slightly, a couple of them are slightly wandering up, but they don't really. So this was what happened last year, but it was there was no cops here last year. So this year I'm assuming they're going to try and walk them up there a bit more civilly, if that's the word, if it happens at all. The cops are coming in now, they're forming up. There's a big cop there. They're even going to cross them over the road here, whereas last year they just ran straight up this main, the main drag here. What do you call this street? Bathurst? Yeah, Bathurst Street. They ran straight up. They went just straight up the road. So you got a lot more cops. Cops are coming in. Bikes at the back. Oh, here. So there. Whoop. No, see there. they're going to try and push through. Woo! And the cops will. Yeah. Anyway, it was always going to happen, I guess. It's kind of a half organised by the cops, even though these ladies push through. We'll get out of the way so I don't get run over by a cop bike. Yeah, so it is kind of. I don't know that they're going to allow the sit down up at the corner like they did last time when they the last year they did it. Yeah, there was a big sit down. Not this year, I'd say. But this is my little friend who harassed me last year, but they've been very quiet, the two of them, this year. Yeah, so the cops are just, and they got more in the van probably, or the van at least to take them back if they need to. So it's going to be a very. He's on the blower, trying to tell them what's happening, but I think it's a very sedate. Oh, sorry, I could run. The cop's trying to pull out. I'm right in the way. All right, we'll duck ahead. All right, they've come up now to Castlereagh Street. It's continuing on. The cops are just, managing it. We'll see what happens at the next one. At the next, or two more corners actually. That's not, is it Castlereagh? Whatever it is anyway. But the next corner, not the next one, but the one after will be the Tell. The legal observers here as well. You've only got this guy from the left, green left filming. So going by last year's one, they will attempt a sit down in the middle of this next intersection, not this one. Let's see if they do the same, but it's a different, some similar ones here, some different ones. Let's have a look, we'll see. I'll duck ahead again. Yeah, the cops are pretty prepared this time. They've got the car here. They're blocking off the traffic just in time. And we'll see if it's going to be a stop in the road.
System change, not climate change. 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 System change, not climate change.
Looks like they're going to march through
System change, not climate change.
at this stage.
System change, not climate change. System change, not climate change.
Yep, no, straight through, no stop. So yeah, there was an arrest last year, and there was all sorts going on. But this year it's straight through.
Climate justice.
There's a lot more police, so they just don't. I don't think they can do it, to be honest. Oh, a couple of them stopping in the middle of their banner, only for a moment. That was like a 2 second, not even 2 seconds, maybe a second and a half. And it's done. I think that's it. A couple more with the banners, and yeah, that's the end of it. That is the end of it. So that, yeah, I missed the bike ride yesterday. I don't think they had the number. Well, they haven't had the both lots of numbers are down. Definitely down on last year. Cops trying to get them back their rope. But no one wants to take it. Yeah, she's taking it. Yeah. So now they're heading off into the park. So I'll leave them here. I doubt think anything more will happen of it. I'd say they'll have a couple of cops scouting it and taking them along. But it's certainly nothing like last year. It's certainly a lot more sedate. There's Thomas in the background. Where an I forget her name. Anyway, yeah, he didn't have to use the machine this year. He just gave it off to his offsider, and he's off. He's out. He's done his bit. Yeah, so I'd say they're gonna go up to the park and have their little powwow now, and the cops will all. It was a bit of a non-event in the end. So, all right, let's call it a day and get the hell out of here. That's another one in the books. Oh, he's just the main cops or Gary's telling him go for a ride around, so they're just going to keep an eye on him. I'd say it won't be going anywhere from here. And that is a cut. And then this little one here, she wasn't anywhere near as harassing as last year. I don't know. I think I always wrote. I mean, I wrote in my last year's thing. It just makes them look silly. If they just leave me alone, I don't do anything. I don't interact with them in any way, shape, or form. And because it's going up to the Anzac Memorial as well, it's probably an issue too. I don't know. Anyway, all done, finished, over. Any more bids? No more. Sold.